Hello and welcome to the Inspiration Station with Carmen and Hazel. And today's topic is going to be about losing yourself.
Yes.
I've been lost.
I've been lost too. You definitely have. Today we're using, it's a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh, and we're kind of breaking it down into three parts here. And we wanted to speak on each one of these parts. So the first part is live your daily life in a way that you never lose yourself.
What does that mean?
Well, I used to be very lost, but I didn't know I was lost. That's the thing, because my life was such a series of, it was a lot of abuse and addictions and things like that. Where I was at that time, I wasn't aware of myself as I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very different awareness, and I was so ultra focused and living in that egoic mind space that I really didn't. I shouldn't say I didn't know that I was lost, because I did feel lost, but I didn't know what I was lost from, because I didn't have that knowledge at that time of who I really am.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that it's important to know who you are. My biggest excursion about being lost was after a car accident and then being diagnosed with depression, and I didn't know who I was.
mm-hmm.
I knew I was in here somewhere, and I would be in the mirror saying, I know you're there, who are you? Please come back. Because I knew the person I was being was very nondescript.
Mm-hmm.
I had no personality, I couldn't even smile, so I knew I was lost, but I didn't know how to find my way back.
Mm-hmm.
So being lost can have many, many interpretations, and it could be just that you're lost in, you just don't know what to do next, and you don't know your decisions, or maybe you don't know who you are. Who am I really? And that question is a big question.
It is a big
Right?
question. And I mean, for me, as I started going within myself and starting my journey 15 years ago of that inner journey into myself, I started to realize that who I was actually identifying with as myself wasn't actually really me. Right?
It was the role
It was the role I was playing, and it was how I was programmed. And that programming made up who I became and who I identified with. But the reality is, it's not really who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I actually became them, not me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big eye opener for me when I looked at that programming, and oh my gosh, because it really wasn't anything about me.
No.
Nothing. It was really bizarre.
Sometimes when you feel lost, you just know that who you are being in this moment, or what your life looks like now, is not, you have this sense inside that it's not really who you want to be, that you know, or you're wanting to be something other than who you are being in this moment. We've all had moments where we've not been our most pleasant self, and is that really who we are? Are we really this person that's angry all the time, or is it just because of circumstances, or is it really that we're this person that is, depending on your experiences, is, as you say, the programming experiences is influencing who you are in this moment? But is that the true you? Is that who you really are?
Yeah.
That's a big question.
It is. And I mean, when I looked at my programming, it was, well, mostly made up from my parents, right? Because they're the ones that program you from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I say program, it's teaching you,
Yeah, it's learned behaviors, right? Because that's the environment you're in.
They're only putting in what they know, right? And so there's no fault of anybody. But growing up, I didn't have a great relationship with my parents. And I saw that I actually became, I took on their anger and their fears and their frustrations and their sadness and all the shame, all of these things. There were so many things that I took on as a young child, and I became that. I became that, like you said, shadow side. I guess that was my darkness.
Yeah.
And growing up, when I found all this out, and I thought, okay, I didn't like this in them, and yet I became that. So how could I possibly like or love myself when I couldn't like or love what they were representing? It was impossible. So I really had to look at that programming from a completely different perspective. And there was no blame or anything like that. It is what it is. But who do I want to be now, or who am I now, is completely different from who I identified with before.
Because you can lose yourself in being a personal role that is not really your true nature, and some circumstances, and peer pressure is a big one, or your environment at work, your the role of the job that you're doing is encouraging you to be a certain type of person. Well, if that goes against your nature, you don't feel comfortable. So I think sometimes losing yourself is when you feel you've lost yourself, you become uncomfortable with who you're being. And you may not know how to change that. You may not know who the true you is. Will the real Hazel stand up, right? Will the real Carmen stand up? Who is that? That's something that you have to understand and get to know for yourself. You're taller than me, so don't stand. We're like, even when we sit down. Yeah, who are you? And you feel lost because you're not certain, you're not sure of who you are being. And so one way of that is, does it resonate? Does your behavior, are you comfortable being that person, or does it make you feel uncomfortable? There's one way to kind of look at it that way, right? Because you can get lost in a good book. You could get lost in being creative. There's many times you can get lost
in your thoughts.
Lost in your thoughts, right? You're not present. You're somewhere else. So there's many explanations for the term being lost, but we really wanted to look at when you don't feel yourself, and ask you that question: when do you not feel yourself, and do you even know what that looks like?
So, okay. So the second part of this is, when you are carried away with your worries, fears, cravings, anger, and desire, you run away from yourself.
Yep. When you don't want to face that, when you just, oh no, I don't want to. That's when, and then we hide. Or if you feel guilty sometimes as a kid and you knew you'd done something that, and then you'd want to hide, right? Exactly. When are you hiding yourself? When you are running away, because you don't want to feel those emotions. Maybe they're a little bit painful, so you rather run away from them and not even address them and acknowledge them, because it's like, no, I don't want to go there. So you run away from them and think you're getting away, and you're not, because they're still there.
But to me, your true self is actually hiding behind these things, these fears and stuff that we actually don't want to look at, that we're afraid to look at. The real you is actually hiding behind all of that.
Still there.
And that's what we need to look at in order to find that part of ourselves and to really go through it. And we always, I always say, you lived it once, you don't have to live it again, right? It's just a matter of looking at these things for what they are, and they're really not that scary when you actually
embrace them.
Well, embrace it and take away, because there is a way to detach yourself from that emotional attachment.
That, yes. You don't have to experience, as you say, you don't have to experience again, but rather than running away, if you embrace it and acknowledge it, right? But you don't have to experience it again. You've already experienced that.
Yeah, exactly.
But we acknowledge in that moment, this is what I felt. So let's have a look at that emotion.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do need to look at those things in order to find out who you are, right? But it's scary. A lot of people are afraid to do that. I was afraid to do that too.
Because you don't know who's going to come out.
Well, but that's the thing. Yeah, you don't.
Who's in there?
It's not that bad. I think we've been programmed to think that it's bad actually or that it's scary to look inside of ourselves, but it's actually the exact opposite. It's very freeing to go into these places that we consider to be dark and actually look at them for what they are, and all of a sudden you go, huh, that wasn't so scary after all.
I know,
And then you can let it be what it is. It just dissolves, and that is the wonderful feeling, and that's how you find your way back to yourself, right?
So gaining clarity on who am I, and looking at how you're behaving, looking at your experiences, and really checking in. How does that feel? Do you know if you're being your authentic self? There's a term that people say, be authentic. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And I challenge you to look at what is the definition of authentic? What does that mean? To be true, to have integrity, to be honest, to be sincere, all those things. Like if you're authentic, it means you are who you are in any circumstances. You're not changing your persona just to fit in with this group. You're not changing your persona to fit in with that group, right? I am me. This is who I am. If you like me, fine. If you don't, fine.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, we see so many times people going out of their way. I want to be unique. I want to be me. I want to be authentic. But really, then they end up getting themselves pierced or doing something else that other people are doing, and they're following what other people are doing. So they're not actually truly being authentic to themselves.
They're just following another.
They're still following somebody, and it's to follow yourself, to follow your heart. That's the most important person to follow, is actually you. It really is.
Yeah. A skier would know that.
A skier.
Yes. Set your own path, go on that fresh snow where no one's been, and just go wherever you want to go on your own path.
Yeah.
Right? Carve your own path.
Yeah.
Right? Don't go down the main ski hill with everybody else. You just want to go off on your own.
Yeah. Don't get caught up in the avalanche. And okay, so the third part of this is the practice is always to go back to oneself. And that's what we're talking about. I mean, it's so important to figure out, who am I, really? Because I mean, I didn't know who I was when I was younger. And well, for the first 40 years of my life, I didn't know who I was. I was identifying with a different part of myself. And over these past 15 years, I've come to know more of who I am. I mean, there's still more to learn, but I'm getting closer. A lot closer than what I was.
But you're more accepting and allowing, and you're loving yourself now.
Yeah.
Because you're recognizing this is who I am, and you're okay with it.
It's way okay with it. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's being okay with who you are. You don't have to please anybody anymore. You don't have to pretend to be anybody. You don't have to hide your feelings. If you just, this is who I am. You don't have to apologize for being who you are, for believing in what you believe in, for experiencing or exploring avenues that maybe people don't understand. That's your passion. That's your desire. And so embrace it.
Well, basically, you know what? You're supposed to follow your joy, and follow that love. You know, if anything that's coming from a place of love is a good place to be, regardless of what other people may think. Doesn't matter. Follow your heart all the time, every single time, and that is who you truly are. You are this amazing, infinite, unlimited being. The programming is one part of you. There's another part of you that a lot of people still aren't quite aware of. And we're in that process right now, which I call a waking up process, where we're discovering who we are, and we're getting to feel into that part of ourselves that is incredibly loving and kind and compassionate and gentle. You know, if we all woke up at the same time and could feel ourselves as we really truly are, there would be it'd be impossible for anybody to ever harm another person, animals, the planet, anything. It'd be absolutely impossible to do from that state of being. And that's the truth of who we are, is that state of being.
There's the freedom.
It's beautiful, absolutely
It is the
beautiful.
freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the analogies in the quote, it says about coming back to yourself, coming back to oneself. And how do we do that? How do we know that? So, we've just talked about that. But how does that feel? So if you think of a tennis player, and anyone who's played tennis knows you have that central place. And you're there, ready and waiting. This is your home base. This is where you are. And then depending how the game is going, you can go off here, you can go up there, you can go forward, you can go back, but you always come back to home base. It's a similar sort of analogy. We might get pulled in many different directions, but always come back to center, always come back to home base. So think perhaps in terms of home base, right? When coming back to yourself, what is your neutral place? So there's one way we can do that is we can, if you're open and willing to try this, I would suggest if you're able to stand up, you can do it. If not, then please do the replay and practice it for yourself. And it's about centering. It's about finding that center of you, that home base within you. And we always talk about going to the heart, because for Carmen and I, everything we do will always bring you into the heart center. We never take you outside of yourself to find answers, because they're all within here. So part of finding that home base and that neutral place within you, here is something that you can try for yourself. So either go along with me now or press the replay, and you can practice it for yourself. But it's knowing where your center, where your neutral zone is. Okay, so if possible, stand up. If not, just listen quietly, and then we'll wrap up, and then you can practice for yourself. So if you're standing, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And I'd like you to place your awareness just in front of you. And as you do that, you might feel a slight pull forward. This space in front of you represents your future. It's where we're going in life. And now place your awareness behind you. And as you place your awareness behind you, you'll feel that focus and that pull towards your back. And the weight might just shift onto the back of the heels. This area behind represents your past. This is where you have come from. So now I'd like you to find the place in the middle that is the neutral. And so between the back and the front, find that place of stillness in the center. This is the present. This is the neutral zone. Now place your awareness on the left side of the body. We all have masculine and feminine energies. The left side of the body represents the feminine side, the feminine energies. The heart is on here, the soft and nurturing energies. And you might feel as you focus on the left side of your body that your weight will tend to shift on the left foot. Now place the awareness on the right side of the body, and you might feel that gentle sway over to the right side of the body. This represents the masculine energy, the times when you need to be assertive and strong and powerful. We can tap into those energies. And then come back and find the center, the neutral, neither in feminine or masculine, we're neutral. Good job. Now place your awareness on your tailbone and imagine reaching down to about 2 feet below your feet. And that is your connection to the earth's energy. That is the grounding energy, nature's energy. And then bring your awareness back up into the body, up your spine, up the neck, and out through the top of the head, and reach about 2 feet above your head to the universal energy. That's where our inspiration comes from. And then bring your awareness back into the center of your body, that neutral space where you're connecting now both the earth's energy, that grounding energy, and that intuition, inspiration energy is coming in. So we have 6, front, back, side, side, top and bottom. If you imagine a line between each, they will all cross at a central point. We have an axis for each one. Imagine where those 3 axes cross and place your hands somewhere on your torso where all those come together. This is your central. This is your neutral zone. And from here, you can tap into any. You can go in the future to plan. You can go in the back to recall and memories. You can go into the masculine when you need to tap that. You can go into the feminine when you need to tap that. You can go and reach to the earth to ground yourself. You can reach up when you want inspiration. But this is your centering point. From here, you can go anywhere. Just like the tennis player waiting for that ball to come over, he can go in any, or she can go in any direction, because we're balanced, we're central, and we're neutral. We're neither committed in any particular one. And sometimes as life or as the day pulls us into, then it's coming back into that neutral zone. So if we get pulled and we have to be really assertive, we can come back to neutral. If we have to be really nurturing and gentle, we can come back to neutral. So it's about understanding, where is your neutral zone? Where is your center point? That is part of coming back to you. The other part of, you can rest now. That's part of coming back to you and to explore, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
That part of the equation, both Carmen and I can help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
Is to understand who you are, is to get to know who you are. Then that's a journey that we can take you on, we can help you with, we can mentor you on.
Yeah.
But for now, just get to experience what is neutral for you, where is that center point, and then you can pivot, you can go in any direction you choose from there.
Yeah.
Right? So know your central, know your neutral, but when you want to know who you are, then that's something we can help with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. And I love that. It's a great way of finding that center.
It is.
Right?
People ask me about grounding and
Yeah.
centering, and then, it's the same thing. And I said, no, it's not. And so it's like, grounding is one thing, to be grounded, but to know where you are centered, I mean, that's your neutral balance point. It's very peaceful there. Yeah. It's very calm, because you're centered. It's your core. It's the universe of your bubble.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Right?
I like my bubble.
I like my yeah. So, did we answer your questions? Did we help you to understand, when you get lost in yourself, what does that look like? Be able to recognize, at least when you're lost, even if you don't know who you are, because recognizing that you're lost in some way, then that is a huge awareness that will help you to discover and then start building on and realizing that this is who I am. Yeah. And your happiness, the joy, do things that make your heart smile. What brings you joy, as you said, right? When you start to do things that bring you joy, that feel good for you, you know that they're good things, that not just good things in your life, but they're aligned for you. So it's all about being happy in life and doing whatever your passion is, and working with your passions and living that joy.
Yeah, but I mean, a big component of that is learning how to let go of that attachment to
those roles, those identities,
that old programming too. And that's specifically, I've been working with clients on that, and it's been amazing what's been coming up, and it's incredibly freeing. It really is. Yeah.
So if you want to find your freedom, we can help you. And if you want to help to recognize who you are and to step out of those roles and step out of those labels, we can help you. So thank you for being with us today. Anything else you want to add?
No, if you do want to connect with us, go on our website, which is healingheartcenter.ca, and you can just scroll down a little bit. It'll say click here on mine and Hazel's. And if you wanted to, you can book a free introductory session with either one of us. And if you want to get started on that journey and really learn who you are, we're here. Yeah, we're here.
We don't want you to be lost.
No. We've been there, done that. We know how to get out.
Okay, so thank you again for being with us,
Yes, thank
and
you.
we've enjoyed a little chat.
Mhm.
And until next time, be kind to yourself.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.